Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into some research that honestly has me kind of blown away.
Oh, sounds intriguing.
It really is. We're talking about 5G,
Yeah.
specifically those MIMO antennas, multiple input, multiple output, how they're key for boosting data speeds.
Right, like adding more lanes to a highway for data.
Exactly. But the more antennas you cram together, the more interference you get. It's called mutual coupling, a real problem for performance.
Yeah, I see where this is going. Too much traffic, even on a wider highway, causes problems.
Exactly. So this research we're looking at, it tackles this problem head on, and get this, they found a solution in nature.
Now, that's what I call thinking outside the box. All right, I'm hooked. Tell me more.
Well, they looked at the golden angle. You know that angle? About 137.5 degrees.
Yeah, it's like it shows up everywhere, right? Sunflower seeds, pine cones, all those cool spiral patterns.
That's the one. And it turns out this angle, it's nature's secret weapon for efficient packing and distribution. So these researchers, they thought, why not apply it to antenna design?
Fascinating. So they ditched the neat rows of antennas.
You bet. They went with Vivaldi antennas, which I learned have a really focused radiation pattern, kind of like spotlights for radio waves. And by arranging them in a spiral, each rotated by the golden angle, they built this 24 antenna array.
Wow, 8 layers of antennas, all carefully offset. So that's how they tackled the overlap problem. No more spotlights shining in each other's eyes, huh?
Exactly. Less overlap means less interference. But the big question is, did it work?
Well, that's what we're here to find out. Did this golden angle arrangement actually improve performance? Spill the beans.
Oh, it did, and the results are pretty impressive. But before we get into that, maybe you can explain ECC, envelope correlation coefficient. It's how they measure the interference between antennas.
Sure thing. ECC basically tells you how much the signals from different antennas are messing with each other. Lower ECC means clearer communication between those antennas.
Perfect. So get this, they achieved an incredibly low ECC with their golden angle array, like really low, less than 0.01.
Whoa, less than 0.01. That's practically zero interference. Those antennas are having a crystal clear conversation.
Exactly. Which means stronger signals, less interference, and ultimately faster, more reliable internet for all of us, right?
That's the dream. Faster downloads, smoother streaming, fewer drop calls, all thanks to Mother Nature. Who would have thought?
It's pretty amazing, right? But let's be real for a sec. We're talking 24 antennas here. Scaling this up to a real-world 5G base station with hundreds, maybe even thousands of antennas, that's got to be a huge challenge.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. I mean, imagine trying to arrange thousands of tiny spotlights without any overlap. We're talking physical space limitations, power consumption, even heat. It all adds up.
You're right. It's not going to be easy. But still, if they got such amazing results with just 24 antennas, doesn't that suggest this design has serious potential? I mean, even if it's not easy, it seems worth exploring further.
Oh, absolutely. It's a proof of concept, right? They've shown the golden angle can really boost performance. Now it's about figuring out how to make it work on a grander scale.
That makes sense. So there's still work to do. But I'm excited to see where this research leads. And you know what? It makes you wonder, what other tricks nature might have up her sleeve to help us out?
You know, that's a great question, and I bet there are tons of them just waiting to be discovered.
Right. There's a whole world of natural wonders out there that could hold the keys to solving all sorts of technological challenges. But for now, let's get back to the specifics of this experiment. I want to know more about how they actually built this golden angle array and what kind of results they saw. You game to dive in deeper.
Absolutely. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of this fascinating research. All right, so before the break, we were talking about how those clever researchers built this golden angle antenna array.
Yeah, it was all very in theory for me. I'm ready to get down to the nuts and bolts of how this thing actually works.
Gotcha. Well, they designed this 24 antenna array using those Vivaldi antennas. Remember, those are the ones with the focus radiation, like spotlights?
Yeah, the spotlights for radio waves. Okay, so 24 of those. What then?
They arranged them in 8 layers, each one rotated by the golden angle, that 137.5 degrees, compared to the letter below it.
I'm picturing a spiral staircase, but with antennas instead of steps. That must have been a sight. How do you even test something like that?
Well, they have this super sophisticated tool, a vector network analyzer, a VNA for short.
Okay, a VNA, and what does that do?
It's basically the gold standard for measuring all kinds of antenna stuff, like
Yeah.
signal strength, how well they transmit, and of course, mutual coupling.
Gotcha. They were looking for that super low ECC, right? Because less antenna crosstalk means better performance. Am I remembering that correctly?
You got it. They measured the signals from each and every antenna, crunched the numbers, and what they found was, well, Pretty remarkable. They got that ECC down to less than 0.01.
Hold on, less than 0.01.
Less than 0.01. That's practically zero interference between those antennas. Talk about a clear connection.
Wow. It's really mind-blowing how they took this idea from nature and got those kinds of results.
It is, isn't it? It's almost like they figured out how to get all 24 antennas singing in perfect harmony, no matter how close together they were.
So just to make sure everyone listening is following along, can you bring it back to the big picture for us? Like, what do these results mean for the future of internet?
Okay, so imagine a world where downloads take seconds. Streaming is always crystal clear. Video calls never drop because of a weak signal.
Internet utopia, sign me up.
Right. And that's what this research is pointing towards. It has the potential to be a game changer for connectivity.
It does sound amazing, but, we talked earlier about how scaling this up to a real 5G base station with hundreds or maybe thousands of antennas, it's not going to be a walk in the park.
Absolutely. There are some serious challenges ahead.
What are the biggest hurdles researchers need to clear? I'm curious.
Well, one of the toughest is keeping that ECC low as you increase the number of antennas.
Right, because more antennas crammed into a smaller space, that's just asking for interference, right?
Right. Exactly. The potential for crosstalk grows exponentially. So they'll need to come up with some new tricks to manage that interference. Each antenna needs to do its job without disrupting its neighbors.
It's like trying to conduct an orchestra with thousands of instruments, right? Everyone needs to play their part perfectly, or the whole thing falls apart.
That's a great analogy. And on top of that, there's the issue of power consumption.
Oh, right. More antennas, more power, and that equals higher costs and potential heat issues, doesn't it?
Exactly. They'll need to figure out how to make energy-efficient designs. Ones that can handle a ton of antennas without turning into a furnace. Not an easy task.
So it's not just about cramming in as many antennas as possible. It's more about finding that balance between performance, efficiency, and practicality, right?
Absolutely. And then there's the challenge of just plain physical space.
Ah, that's right. Base stations are already packed with equipment. Trying to squeeze in all those extra antennas while keeping that golden angle arrangement, that's going to be quite the engineering puzzle.
You can say that again. I think we'll be seeing a lot of creative solutions in the coming years, new materials, new fabrication techniques.
It'll be exciting to watch how they solve these problems, because if they do, the potential benefits for internet connectivity, wow, just think about it. Faster speeds, wider coverage, more reliable connections, that's a complete game changer.
And it is, isn't it? It could transform the way we live and work and make so many things possible.
And not just for those who already have good internet access, but think about the impact on education, healthcare, economic development, especially in areas that haven't had those opportunities before.
Absolutely. This could be a real step towards closing the digital divide.
All from a simple idea inspired by a sunflower. Pretty amazing.
It really is. And it goes beyond just antennas and internet. This research speaks to something bigger.
What do you mean?
It reminds us that nature is a powerful source of innovation. It's full of elegant solutions that we can learn from and apply to our own technological challenges.
After diving deep into these golden angle antennas, I don't know, I'm left with this sense of awe, really. It makes you think.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like, what other simple but brilliant solutions are hiding in plain sight, Just waiting for someone to connect the dots between nature and tech.
Right. We've been talking about antennas, but this goes way beyond that. It's about a whole new way of thinking about innovation.
Like, take those wind turbines inspired by hummingbird wings or the antibacterial surfaces based on shark skin. Who would have thought?
Exactly. It's so easy to get caught up in the latest gadgets and gizmos and forget that nature has been solving problems for millions of years.
And doing it way better than we ever could. I bet there were some skeptical engineers out there when someone first suggested, hey, let's arrange antennas like a sunflower.
I can just imagine the eye rolls. But hey, the proof is in the pudding. Or in this case, the incredibly low ECC.
That's for sure. And it really highlights the power of collaboration too. You need biologists, mathematicians, engineers, all those different perspectives coming together to make this kind of breakthrough happen.
Absolutely. It's about bridging those gaps between disciplines and seeing the connections that others might miss.
And if we can do that, just think of the possibilities. We could revolutionize so many things. Like, obviously, internet connectivity is a big one.
Oh yeah, faster speeds, wider coverage, more reliable access. All of that is huge.
But it goes even deeper than that. Think about the potential impact on education, healthcare, the economy, especially for communities that have been left behind.
Absolutely. This technology could be a game changer for so many people.
Yeah.
It's about more than just downloading movies faster. It's about opportunity.
And to think, it all started with a simple observation about a sunflower. Amazing, right?
Pretty mind-blowing when you think about it that way.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, what will be the next big nature-inspired breakthrough? What other hidden solutions are out there waiting to be discovered?
That's what's so exciting. We don't know yet, but that's what makes exploration so worthwhile.
Exactly. That's what the deep dive is all about. Digging deeper, making connections, and hopefully sparking some curiosity along the way.
We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive and that it's given you a new perspective on how we can solve problems.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one to uncover the next big nature-inspired innovation. Welcome to the deep dive.